Welcome to MetalVice in 666. I'm one of your hosts, Brian, joined with the other host,
Karen.
If you haven't joined us before, 666 is we just take a topic and try to talk about it for 6 minutes and 66 seconds. The idea is to hone in and not ramble so much.
This will not be an episode where we don't ramble.
No, we're going to go on quite a bit because we're talking about the Department of Justice suing Live Nation Ticketmaster for antitrust lawsuits and whatnot. This came out last Thursday. We're doing this episode on Memorial Day.
Yeah. So it came out, what, like
27th?
on the 20...
Just a few days ago. Yeah, the 23rd or something like that.
Yeah, the 23rd.
Sweet. On that Thursday. So
May 23rd.
Yes. So
2024.
Still kind of new and fresh. But yeah, we found an article on the AP News about this, and we're just sort of referencing that article, put it in the description, and just kind of going through it and giving our 2 cents on a few elements or aspects that were brought up in the article.
Yeah.
So let's start the timer. All right. So I don't know exactly where to start other than they're suing, the DOJ is suing Ticketmaster Live Nation for antitrust practices.
So it seems like in 2010, Ticketmaster bought Live Nation.
They
merged together.
Yep.
Oh, Live Nation bought...
Live Nation's the parent company. They're the primary owner.
Okay, so they merged together. And in that, 14 years?
Yep.
They've acquired 265 venues, been the top seller. 70% of the tickets in the U.S. are sold by them.
And last year, according to their records and whatnot, 70% of tickets to major events came through Ticketmaster's platform.
Yeah. They pretty much have this is what they're being accused of. They have a monopoly over the entertainment sphere, basically, because they own the venue, they are promoters, they are ticket sellers. So it's everything that has to do with entertainment.
Part of this sort of, I think, was spurred on in 2022 with the Taylor Swift sort of debacle and whatnot, and the shit show that was selling those tickets, where the site crashed because Ticketmaster said it was overwhelmed. The site was overwhelmed by fans and attack bots, I think they called them, buying up tickets to resell in the secondary market. And it's but are they attack bots? You've had no incentive in the past to not allow bots to buy tickets.
Right.
So how much effort have you really put into stopping that? Because bots that buy tickets are then going to resell those tickets on your platform, where you then take a cut of that as well. You take the fees on the initial sell, then you take fees and you take a small chunk of the sell price on the secondary market as well.
Yeah.
So there's no incentive for Ticketmaster or Live Nation to say,
don't resell or don't buy all these. Yeah.
Right. We prefer the scalpers over the fans because we get a double dip.
Yeah. We've talked about that a lot on recent episodes about the double dipping and that's why I don't like buying secondary market tickets. We try not to. There's a few shows that we've bought secondary market tickets, but we really try not to because I really hate the markup price. Yeah.
Later this week is Dying Wish at Concord, and that sold out instantly. Face value, I think, was $39.99. We saw them a week or so ago for $100 for a ticket. I just checked before recording this. $45 for a ticket for that show. They've gone down quite a bit. Maybe the day of they'll be check. Maybe even less than face value. I don't know.
I mean, if somebody really can't go, maybe we'll get a ticket.
Maybe. I don't know. But I agree. I hate buying on the secondary market because I don't want to support the scalpers, and that's all they're doing. They're selling I'm buying up tickets to try to resell them, and Ticketmaster has no incentive not to do it, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
And as you said, they own 265 venues in North America, on top of the amphitheaters and other venues that they have contracts with and whatnot. Then they have exclusive contracts only to have artists or to only use Ticketmaster at those venues they own. So that is definitely a monopoly. How is that not a monopoly?
Yeah. You
own the venue, you own the contracts to who can play at your venue, and you own the system that sells the tickets to those venues.
Yeah, because we've had that a lot where I don't know if it still is owned by Live Nation or not, but it was the Pepsi Center or the Ball Arena in...
Yeah.
God damn it. Sorry, guys. In Colorado, Denver, Colorado. And... but so there's been tours where they go around and most of the venues that they play at, and they're the summer tours are at the amphitheaters, and we really do not enjoy seeing a show at an amphitheater. So we would go to Denver to see the specific tour because it was an arena show versus an amphitheater show. And I have no clue where I was going with that, but it was about like how, what I was going to say is how the, when a band announces a tour, especially during the summertime, and it's a Live Nation sponsored tour, we kind of know it's going to be at Tinley Park at the amphitheater, which is shitty because, I mean, for us it's shitty. We just don't enjoy that type of environment to see a show.
I don't enjoy that environment. It's out in the burbs, which is a pain in the ass to get out to. But then, like, the people who live in the burbs say the same thing about coming to see a show in Chicago. But that's kind of why we live in Chicago. One of the reasons, right, is we want to be closer to this shit. We don't want to be driving in and out.
Yeah.
Like, it's the trade-off you have on where you choose to live, if you live in the city or in the burbs. So, I mean, it is nice that they get to go out there into the burbs, and that makes it easier for those individuals to see the show. That's great. But the venue itself is just, if you're on the lawn, you're watching the TVs. And it's like, I could stay home and watch a TV. The pit's so fucking small and so expensive to get into. Expensive.
But basically, I mean, to keep this on Live Nation, not talk about Tinley Park in its own thing, but like because they're promoters, because they promote to their venues, we know like when those shows are announced, like where they're going to be, which is shitty.
One thing reading the article that I noticed, and like even reading quotes from like Live Nation, like in their response.
Oh, right.
A lot of it seems to be focused around trying to lower the price of tickets and reduce the amount of fees that are associated with tickets.
Yeah.
And in this article, it says that, Live Nation basically says that this won't solve the issues fans care about, which is ticket prices and the service fees and access to in-demand shows. And I kind of agree. I don't think this solves those issues, but at the same time, I don't think you should be looking at this lawsuit as a way to reduce ticket prices. I think ticket prices are high, but some of the things they point out, like I think their executive vice president of some shit, what's he do? Corporate and regulatory affairs, Dan Wall, basically said the same thing. Like, the reason ticket prices are so high is production costs for shows are high. Online ticket scalping is high, and artist popularity also impacts this. The more popular an artist is, the more in demand they're going to be, the faster the tickets are going to go. It means more scalpers are going to be there trying to make a buck off of this. And we've heard this all the time with reading other articles, and even we did the walking tour at the rave, and Steve brought that up, where he's like, do you know how much it is to get a bus to tour? So, I mean, that all these expenses are going up, which means ticket prices are going to go up as well. And breaking up Ticketmaster, I don't think will solve that issue, but it doesn't negate the fact that they are a monopoly where they control the venue, they control the staff, the security that's there, they control the people who are the roadies. We met roadies at Billy Joel last year, who were like, seemed like they were mainly metalheads, or when we were talking to them and whatnot, and they're like, no, we love metal. We love seeing metal shows, going to metal shows. This is just a gig for us. And we travel around with Live Nation. We do the roadie, the crew is all Live Nation owned.
Yeah. So let's go back to the ticket price really quick, because I know that you kind of put together your little thing with just some quotes. But I think the big thing with ticket prices in the article was also talking about the fees that are charged. So if you think of a ticket price, and we do list out every ticket price, every single episode, we say how much we pay for tickets, and you like to break out ticket price, fees, and tax. I don't really fucking care about the tax. It's all about the
I just find it fun that
tax.
it's like 10 cents.
Yeah. But on the fees, if it's a Live Nation show, it's generally 30 to 35 to 40% of the actual price. So like we could pay, gosh, now I'm going to do math wrong, but $35 for the ticket and pay $19 in fees. And it's generally on Live Nation.
So I thought that too, but really AXS is the other next large one. Their fees are just as high.
Okay.
So it seems like Live Nation Ticketmaster set the bar for this is what the industry charges.
Yeah.
And now AXS and all the other ticket distributors are like, we need to follow what industry standard is, otherwise we're leaving money on the table type thing.
Yeah.
So I think Ticketmaster Live Nation is leading the way in fees, and I agree that there's fees that they're not really broken down, and it's not a set fee. Like, it seems like it's a percentage of the ticket, and the server cost you have doesn't go up or down depending on how much you sell a ticket for. It's the same server cost that you have. And that's what I would assume that the fees are going to. Like, we need to cover our overhead.
It also goes to the venue if it's a Live Nation venue.
Sure, it goes to the venue, but there again, Live Nation owes the venue.
It is.
Because they did say that in the article too. They're like, the fees don't go to us, they go to the venue. But you own the venue, so they do.
Yeah, and I spoke to somebody who works for a Live Nation venue, and part of the ticket price does go to the venue, or the fee price goes to the venue. But
saying it doesn't go to us, it goes to the venue while you own the venue is sort of like...
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, like, how to say that is, like, it goes to the venue, but that goes back to Live Nation.
Yeah.
So it's like
it goes to the venue, not us.
Yeah.
But don't you own the venue?
Yeah. Which goes into the next part of the article talking about how Live Nation is being accused of threatening venues for not, if they try to use something other than Ticketmaster to sell their tickets.
Yep.
That they're threatening. And so, like, that agreement was supposed to end in 2019. And I believe it was forwarded on to 2025 that they have, like, this agreement, but they've been found, I don't know how many times they've been found in violation of that agreement.
Yeah.
But that they threaten venues to say, like, you'll lose business if you don't use Ticketmaster.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a great thing. It's long overdue.
It is.
I think focusing the narrative or the whole story around, we need to reduce ticket prices. I think that's wrong. I don't think we need to look at that. I don't think ticket prices are going down anytime soon, if ever. This is what they are going to be. This is what they're going to be going forward. Even if you break up Ticketmaster Live Nation, ticket prices aren't going to go down.
I agree.
Fees, maybe a little bit. Maybe you can have more transparency in what the fee is instead of just having service fee be this percentage. I think that's ridiculous. Even looking at shows in Europe, right?
Yeah, it's like in Europe they break it down like even further, like how much or what it's going to.
But we saw, what was it, Evil in Europe, and we had a 54-cent fee. 54 cents.
Yeah.
You saw who was it? Cattle decapitation, Signs of the Swarm, I always say 20 or 20,000, 200 stab wounds, and Vomit Forth for 49 cents in fees. Yeah. Like, not even $1, not $49, 49 cents in fees.
Yep.
Like, to me, we're trying to cover our server costs to run the site or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous that these fees are outrageous. Between the Buried and Me, that was through TicketWeb, $30 tickets, $5.50 in fees, so 1/6.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess make fees transparent and reduce some of the fees. That could help. But the overall face value of a ticket isn't going to go down anytime soon, if ever. And focusing all this lawsuit around we're reducing ticket prices, to me, is wrong. It needs to be, you own the venue, you own every aspect of the supply chain of this, of how live music is managed and live entertainment is managed. You own every single piece of that, and you are putting your finger on the scale that benefits you every single time. So you're clearly a monopoly. Time to fucking get rid of you. The 2010 merger shouldn't even fucking happen.
It shouldn't have happened. No. And I mean, yeah, I know that they were focused a lot around ticket pricing and like making it more fair to consumers and all that stuff. But I think it definitely needs to start at the top where you break these this monopoly up to, because also like in the article it was saying like that since you probably don't have it copied here, but like since 2021 or something like that, they've grown by 136% by like breaking or like
2014 to 2023.
No, that's not the one that I'm talking about. But so where they've basically bought up smaller ticketing distributors or smaller, I think it was the ticketing distributors because they saw them as competition in an area. So they bought them up to like, I think that's where I got the 136%, but that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about where since 2021, they were buying up smaller ticket distributors because they saw them as a threat.
Right.
So then that makes me kind of go to like Cobra Lounge. I don't know what ticket distributor they use, but they use like a, where they can't if you do resell, it's resold.
Dice is the platform they use.
Yeah. So like if you resell, it's on their app and you cannot raise the ticket price sort of thing. So
it's determined in the app. You pay a flat rate. If you sell it for that price. It's like fan to fan purchasing and selling. I like that model a lot because I also don't think you shouldn't, like if you buy a ticket, things do come up and you can't go.
Yeah.
So you 100% should be allowed to sell that ticket. Not quite sure where our camera died, but I think we're getting close to wrapping this up. This has been well over 6 minutes and 66 seconds. All in all, I do think this is a good thing. Some of the points Ticketmaster is making, like I said, I agree with. It's not going to solve the issue of lowering ticket prices, but I don't necessarily think that should be the goal of this.
Right.
Even though like the Department of Justice said that's one thing they're trying to combat. I think that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. Like, let the ticket prices be what they are, but address fees and address the fact that a venue shouldn't own and operate all, like somebody who owns all the venues shouldn't operate how all the tickets are sold.
Exactly. That's where I'm more leaning towards, is like the owner of the venue should not also be the promoter who's bringing bands to that venue,
right?
And being the ticket seller, because
exclusive contracts with bands to say you can only play my venue.
Yes.
Therefore, only use my ticket selling app.
Exactly.
And trying to actually stop scalpers instead of encouraging it or wanting it to be a thing.
That needs to be addressed. So, because we've been to shows where like entire sections are just empty. And I'm like, I bet that was like scalpers, and then they didn't resell the tickets because it didn't sell out, so people aren't going to buy those tickets. And it's just like that. I don't know. Yeah,
and we're rambling again.
Yeah, I knew we were going to ramble during this episode.
This is overall a very positive thing, I think. It's going to take a long time probably for anything to happen. And if it does, I don't think the fans will see a whole lot. Even if you break up Ticketmaster and Live Nation, where Live Nation goes back to owning the venues, Ticketmaster goes back to owning the ticket distributing, you'll just have exclusive contracts in between those two companies. And as we said, like AXS, I think, is matching at that 30% fee rate.
Yeah.
So make the fees more transparent on what it's going for and eliminate some of that shit.
And maybe do a max on the fees or something.
Yeah. 54 fucking cents in Europe versus $30 for a fee here. Like, it's outrageous. I don't know. Rambled again. Sorry. It's overall a great thing. If we'll see any positive outcomes, regardless of how this ends up, I have no faith in. I think it's this is the way it's going to be, but I still think you should break them up.
Yep.
In any case,
why don't you go buy some tickets?
Go buy tickets. Go buy merch. Go buy anything. Support your bands. Seeing them live is a great way. Buying their merch is a great way. Just go support music, live music, whatever the fuck you love with music. Support it. But live music is fucking awesome. So I say go check that out and support that.
Yep. Bye.